Cold War continues on a different scale. During the Cold War, I knew a Polish family. They came here from Poland, and Polish people. They're from the highlands of Poland, which is not exactly what you like. The lowlands of Poland, totally different. They say, totally different. They marry the highlands, people from the highlands of Poland, not the lowlands of Poland. But the guy that says he owns a farm, a pig farm in Wisconsin, and he has people up there all the time. Hey. And he was having problems with coyotes. And he said, well, hey, I know how to get rid of them. I'd rather pet the coyote than kill the coyotes, but I can go up there and help you. And I'm up there for the weekend. I drive up there, and all these cars are there. It's a training camp. You look like the military training camp. It's a training camp. You know, the guys going over the bears up, flying the thing there. It's a major training camp. And they got a rifle range and a pistol range up there. And I do mean a rifle range. Yeah, they got some pretty heavy hardware. You look at the stuff, and that's pretty heavy. Hey, you want to learn to fire a 50 caliber? And they're talking warfare. They're talking guerrilla warfare. Some of their ancestors fought against the Nazis. And they didn't surrender their guns after they kicked the Nazis out. They kept their guns. And when the Russians came in there, they kept their guns. And they're fighting a war. They expect a war to break out again. And they're training Wisconsin. They said, well, they're not the only camps around the country, but they're Poles, and they're training for war. They're training for guerrilla warfare in Wisconsin. It's a good-sized camp too, because it incorporates a few farms. So they go running across this field here, they go running across that field there. They go moving to other cow passages right next to the guy's farm. And he was very simple. We're planning guerrilla warfare against the Russians. If a war breaks out between the NATO and Russia, we're gonna help put down the Russians. Cold War's over with. Camps are still there. The guy still has his pig farm up there. The stuff is still set up. Why? Because they can't trust the Russians. Everybody else trusts the Russians. The Poles lived under there, don't trust the Russians. Well, a couple years ago, when Russia invaded Ukraine, that camp was opened up again. This time, training Ukrainians from Chicago in guerrilla warfare up there, because they know very likely that war in Ukraine is going to go on for a long time, and now they're planning to do, and they're really planning to do, is carry the war from Ukraine into Russia. I mean, they're very, very serious. And they set up their dummy explosives. I do mean dummy explosives. That you take this charge of here. Why, this is, what is the plastic explosive out there? Not RDX, it's something else. C4. They get these bundles of C4, you know. The mark C4. What are they? They're bundles of C4. Well, what are they? Oh, bread. But they learned how to wire this stuff, how to set explosives up, what kind of damage this thing will do. They'll have the construction of bridges, of dams, power stations. They have these mock transformers of a nuclear power plant. So they're basically setting this up to carry the war into Russia. And they also teach them on radiology, chemical, biological, because they know the Russians are training in the same field. That's one of the things they're worrying about, using chemical weapons in cities they captured. What do you mean they use chemical weapons? They euthanize basements. They go up to a basement and they fill it full of a poison gas, which could be monoxide or CO2, exhaust from a truck, a diesel truck. Well, they kill everybody inside. So, yeah, the Russians are ruthless. They're using chemical weapons. Well, they're using chemical weapons, yeah. They're going to use mustard gas. They don't have to. They got the engine of a truck to do that. They will smother everybody in the building. But they're planning a guerrilla war, and they're planning a guerrilla war. Well, they're trading Wisconsin. I presume they're trading other parts of the country. Well, yeah, these are outbuildings. And they set up the buildings too. They're basically flats like you would find on a stage of a theater, that type of flat. So, bang bang. What are they using too? They're not using live ammunition. They're not using blanks. What are they using? Paintballs. It's a paintball game, but it does the same effect. If you put your head up and get hit with a paintball, you know about it. And they practice night raids. The whole thing's it's like one large theater group there. They asked me to participate, and I said, I kind of like gave that up long ago, guys. But you did do it. Yes, I did, long ago. Don't you want to do it again? I gave it up long ago. I'm an old man. Well, that's okay. We got old men here who are willing to die for their beliefs. We got old men who are in 80s and 90s that are going to become suicide bombers. What are you going to do about the Republicans? That was a direct question. What are you going to do about the Republicans when they cut funding to Ukraine? They won't do that. Oh, yes, they will. And one of the leaders basically said to me, looked directly in my face and said, maybe we bring the war here. Because if we're really on the verge of losing everything, we will teach the Russians. I said, what do you mean by that? We will teach the Russians. You guys are going to do something. You guys are up to, what are you guys going to do? Well, they got nuclear power plants, don't they? Oh. Well, if Ukraine's going to fall all the way, to hell with everybody else. Oh, I better put in a supply of food.